My name is Barb Sackel, and I'm doing a video today on the perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance. Again, today's video is being sponsored by QuiltWoman.com. I like to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance that is a bit on the scant side. That means 2 to 3 threads less than normal. Generally, your 1/4 inch foot will do a full 1/4 inch, but the problem with that is when you sew your two pieces together and you iron it, this piece of fabric has to come up and over your thread. That does take up 2 to 3 threads, and every time you put pieces together it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So we need to compensate for that. The way to compensate is to do a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now, how I would recommend setting your machine up for that is take 2 pieces of fabric. These are 1 inch by 4 inches. Be very exact on your cutting. Take them to your machine, place your right sides together so that the sides are exactly aligned, and sew your 1/4 inch seam allowance down one end. Take this to the iron and press it open. It'll look like this. Now take your ruler and put it up to the pressed open seam that you just did, and you will see that it should measure 1 1/2 inches exactly. If it doesn't, you need to go back to the drawing board and readjust your 1/4 inch seam allowance. Once you have the perfect seam allowance on your machine, I mark it with a piece of masking tape. And I just put the masking tape right over my machine and use the edge of the masking tape versus the edge of the foot. If this helps, you can keep trying different places with the masking tape and then just keep making your 1 inch by 4 inch practice pieces until you come up with the perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance. Thank you for joining me today.